Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, today we're going to dive into a little bit of the unseemly history of my new adopted town. This is actually a topic that's been suggested a number of times by my viewers, and I've kind of avoided it in the past just because I'd never heard of the story and didn't know anything about it. Well, it turns out yesterday I was digging around the internet looking for doing some research on something else, and this story came up. It turns out that about 7 years ago, there was a shootout that took place between two rival biker gangs here in Waco. And once I found the story about that yesterday, I kind of started digging and just really fell down the rabbit hole of it. And it turns out I was able to figure out where it happened and kind of research the whole story. And we're going to go there today and we're going to relive the story of what happened in the Waco shootout. Let's go. Alright, we are here. This is the Central Texas Marketplace, and one of the things that kind of caught my attention is I've been here many times. The Big Frog t-shirt facility that made my t-shirts is just over there. I've been to the Cabela's a number of times. I've been to that Bed Bath & Beyond a bunch of times, and of course Best Buy is over there. And interestingly enough, just about 3 weeks ago, a group of my friends from work and I celebrated Christmas by eating at this Don Carlos restaurant. And so little did I know that this story happened right next door at this location right here. As a matter of fact, right here in this parking lot is where it all happened. It's amazing. I came over here yesterday to kind of scope the place out, and it looks right now just like it did then. Right now it's empty, it's abandoned. It used to be a Louisiana crab shack, which is what you can see on the post right now. But they went under just recently as a result of COVID. Before that, there was a place here called, I gotta pull my notes out here. It's called Scotty's Brew House before that. But before that, the place was called Twin Peaks. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, short of maybe the David Lynch TV series. No relationship whatsoever. Twin Peaks is a small chain that's mostly in Texas, but also in a few other states. It's basically a racier version of Hooters. And it was this location right here where it all went down. Basically, here's the backstory on all this. There's two rival biker gangs, the Banditos and the Cossacks. And the Banditos were sort of a dominant biker gang here in Texas. And they basically claimed the right to approve anyone else riding in Texas. And basically claiming Texas, the Banditos basically claimed Texas as their home turf, and they claimed the right to approve anyone else who had a Texas bottom rocker, and basically that's just a patch on their vest that claimed they were from Texas, and they very strictly enforced that. And in fact, anyone else who wore a bottom rocker that said Texas had to actually pay dues to the Banditos. Well, the Cossacks didn't like that, and there'd been a number of skirmishes between them in the past, and basically they wanted to claim that Waco was their home turf and deny any other biker gangs the right to ride in Waco. Well, they were meeting here in this outdoor patio area on May 17th, 2015, and they were literally right in here, and they were just discussing how to kind of solidify their right to this area when the Banditos rode in, and they came into the parking lot right here, and basically allegedly the whole dispute started with a dispute over a parking place. And someone's foot allegedly got run over, and the shooting started. And there's security footage that came from this Don Carlos across the street, and there's security camera footage from inside this place showing the chaos that happened right here in the parking lot. In the end, 9 bikers were dead, mostly shot in the head. Another 20 were wounded, and 177 people were arrested. It turns out that the police knew that something was brewing, and so they actually had a whole bunch of units here very visibly kind of patrolling the area when this all happened, when it all went down. And in the end, it's not even sure if the police may have actually shot some of the bikers who died in the incident, or who were also shot in the incident. But they apparently had attempted to contact the management of Twin Peaks and have them shut this place down, and Twin Peaks wouldn't do that. They wanted whatever, for whatever reason, they wanted to go forward. And at the end, when the corporate got wind of it, they shut this place down immediately, and they went out of business almost immediately as a result. But in some of the security footage that's in here, you can actually see in here the chaos that went down. Literally, the camera was almost literally from this angle here, and people jumping over the railing here on the left, people running and running from the gunfire. Apparently, allegedly, people were hiding in refrigerators to protect themselves, and it was a pretty chaotic scene here. Because, like I said, all the action was happening right out here in the parking lot. In fact, some of the security footage or news footage at the time from helicopters in the sky show that there were like dead bodies right here. This was insane. Like I said, 177 people were arrested. At the end of the day, no one actually served any time for that. Now, there was one person that actually went to trial in this case. His name was Jacob Carazel, and he allegedly was one of the leaders of the Bandidos, and was accused of masterminding the whole thing. And at the end of the day, like I said, he went to trial, but the trial ended up in a hung jury, and basically that happened in November of 2017, and they never even pursued it any further. They just said, okay, that's it, we're done with this. 177 people going to jail, and the cost of all of that involved, it just turned out to be more of a fiasco than the city of Waco was willing to handle. All of them needed public defenders, and I think Waco had something like 25 public defenders in the entire town. They ended up having to go to other counties and request public defenders with expertise in this type of thing to come and help them with this. And the cost just turned out to be too much, and they just dropped it, and most of them got released. There was also some criticism of the Waco police that they overreacted in arresting everybody at the place, whether they had anything to do with it or not. I mean, the security footage, shows that most of the people inside, were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, okay, they're a member of a biker gang, but most of them didn't shoot, didn't do anything. Now, in the end of the day, they found like 200 weapons in here, mostly guns, but knives and chains and other things that could cause damage. So it is clear that a lot of them came with the intent to start trouble. So, you can make your decision on whether the police overreacted or not. But yeah, this is where it all happened. It's actually really easy to line up where a lot of these things happen, because a lot of the footage of the actual incident happening that came from security cameras has stuff in the shot that you can see. This pole right here, which is the post for the store sign, is in some of the security footage. In fact, there's an incident where you can see gang members pulling guns on each other and shooting at each other. And you can see that pole in the scene. Now, like I said, this place has changed a little bit, but this outdoor patio area is virtually identical. I think the thing that surprised me most about this was that it literally is a place that I've literally been many, many times. In fact, I'm looking now, some of these chairs look like they're the same chairs that were there at the time. See, these are a little bit different, but those ones with the with the slats in the back there. I don't know if you can see them very well through the screen. See if I can get a better angle here. Like I said, they just got a plastic curtain here, and I can just kind of stick the camera in here really easily. Wild. Place is pretty picked clean now, isn't it? Not much left. So I've been kind of looking around at this building to see if there's any evidence that kind of reveals what this place once was. This part of the building here is right next to the outside patio, and this is where the sign that used to say Twin Peaks existed. And I was looking closer at the wall here, and you get really close here, you can actually see there's some anchors in the wall there that probably were used at one point to hold the sign. They look like just drywall anchors, but that's stucco, so I don't know. Yeah, see inside here you can actually see that's the security camera right there. That's probably the camera that caught some of the security footage of all the chaos that was erupting in here. Now, for a short time after the incident, the Cossacks, who basically took the brunt of the deaths in this incident, all but one of the dead people were Cossacks. And they set up a memorial here. Now, obviously, it's not here anymore. Who wants to own a restaurant and have a memorial of a biker gang in their parking lot? But yeah, that was right here. So I think that's all I have for this one. I hope you found this a little interesting, and you know, kind of, I always like to show you a little bit of the history of my town, and this was actually a far more interesting story than I thought it was going to be. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.